Hello, everyone, and welcome to this new episode from the You podcast. And today we have a really interesting guest and an interesting topic as well. So it's very trending nowadays. And let me introduce the guest of the evening. So she goes by the name Mrs. AI Empowered on Instagram, and she's a computing teacher and she working in an outstanding school in Dubai, and she is bringing AI to schools. So she's teaching and educating both teachers and students. So welcome, Mrs. Saira Ali.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, Joanna. It's nice to speak to you.
Thank you very much. And okay, so without a further ado, let's get started. Okay, so the first question that I have for you is what does AI mean for the future of education?
Well, things are changing so drastically within education. It's so nice to see AI making a difference for teachers. So there has been a huge improvement in workload for teachers who are using AI. We are able to use it for planning. We're able to use it to help us with feedback. But the biggest difference is how it's supporting children. And I feel children are able to get feedback from AI. We are able to use personal tutors. So there's so many different ways that it can be used and tapped into to support children and teachers in the right way. So it's a game changer. It's definitely like when tablets
Yeah.
first came into education, or when we first started to have computers. It's one of those big milestones, and it's nice being on the right side of it and seeing AI being brought into schools.
Yeah, it's definitely amazing. So so it's interesting because it also helps the teachers at work, like in their work, not just the students. Since we're talking about how it helps them in their work, so what do you think, how or what role does it play in shaping, the the our the curricula or these things?
Yeah, definitely. So what I've really found is that as a specialist teacher at the moment, I support with curriculum as well. So if I've got computing topics that need to be covered, I also want them to link into whatever topics being covered within the classroom. So for me, very easily using AI, I can make sure I've got all my curriculum objectives covered, but also link into the topics. So things that we've been able to plan um, using Minecraft to make chocolate factories, for example, for one of the topics that's been happening. We've been using robots in Key Stage 1. I've been able to link those to their fairy tale topics, or to a story that they've been doing. So, I mean, all the ideas are ideas that I've had, but being able to put that into AI and have support in very quickly making tailor-made lessons, curriculum plans, making sure I've covered all objectives,
Yeah.
that takes that workload away from teachers and makes it so much easier for you to plan those exciting lessons.
So when you say tailored, it means like it's a really personalized version. Like you tailor it to yourself. It's not
Absolutely,
like a
yeah.
general uh
Absolutely.
thing.
So not just yourself, but also the class. So if there's a particular class who are really, you know, really excited about a certain topic, or if you feel that the children in one particular class need a little bit more support because they have English as an additional language,
Yeah.
very easily with AI, I've suddenly got a lesson tailor-made to them. Um, and with that, we've got a lot of students at the moment who speak Chinese. I'm able to
Wow,
translate things.
interesting.
I'm able to make videos with me speaking in different languages for the children. So that turn
Even
that
if you don't
that
know the language, so
absolutely,
it
yeah.
automatically translates to the.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
So I've recently made a video with me speaking fluent Arabic, and that's literally just with my picture, able to put that into an app called Hey Gen. Um, tell Hey Gen what I want it to say. I don't even need to be speaking. It translates it for me. It makes my mouth move as if I'm the person who's speaking.
Yeah,
So
it's really powerful. It's a powerful tool. But okay,
absolutely.
so we talked about its positives. So what are the negatives? What if is there any threats when it comes to using, artificial intelligence or okay, I'm sure that everybody knows right now or using right now something that is related to AI, which is ChatGPT, let's say.
Yes.
Mm,
Well, definitely ChatGPT obviously is only suitable for children 13 and above.
mm,
So if you are using that with primary school, it needs to have those parameters in place. And obviously children shouldn't be using ChatGPT on their own unsupervised. However, if your school invests into safe AI parameters. So at the moment, our school is using something called Magic School, which is a tailor-made for students. It's a safe environment. It's a room that's been created for the children. Um, there's safeguarding in there.
mm.
I can only allow the children to use certain tools, and I'm fully aware of what the children are using and saying to the AI. So some inappropriate. Sometimes we've been talking about um, creating films, and one of the children said, "How can I shoot this?"
Yeah.
Meaning as in, how can he record it? But AI flagged it up to me and said, this boy is talking about shooting.
Oh,
Please be careful.
shooting.
So
Okay. Okay.
yeah, so it took it as the other
Mm.
way. But the safeguarding parameters are in there and it flags it up straight away. So I mean that's one of what the safeguarding issues obviously are can be numerous with AI. We do have to be careful with the information and the data that we're putting in. So any data, if teachers are using it, we're not using children's names, we're not using their pictures and putting them onto any of the AI models we're using. So yes, definitely use it, but be use it with caution for sure.
Um, Maybe a lot of students are using are using like the AI or ChatGPT, let's say maybe the older students, they're using it to get answers, essays, to do the
Yeah.
assignments. So how can we tell like an authentic answer from, AI generated answer?
Yeah, definitely. All the telltale signs are usually there when a child has used AI. So things that I know that other teachers in other lessons, obviously, because we encourage the use of it in my lessons, but in other lessons um, we've spoken to the child. If that is unusual, you might ask the child, "Are you able to repeat that?" Or could you write that again for me yourself?
Mm,
So some of those, and you also have AI detection websites. But I mean, that's not something we've had to use in school because I think if you have your parameters in place beforehand, the children understand how much AI they can use and why, and you open it up to children, I think they become very clear on the uses of it in a good way and how it can be obvious. So I've got a child who's in year 8 at the moment. He does use AI to test himself, but he knows that when he's going into an exam, obviously he's not going to have his computer with him. So it's about showing them how to use it in the right way. So yes, you can use AI to revise, but it's going to be asking you questions. It's going to be quizzing you, and you've got to answer it. So it's teaching all of those skills, not being afraid of it. Because I think if you don't understand the AI, you're not going to recognize when your children are using it or your students are using it, and that's when that idea of cheating comes in because you're unsure of it and you don't know how it works. So if you're clear and you can very clearly say this has been created by AI, I know that language isn't your language, or I know that that's not how what you would normally say. Um,
Yeah, so
yeah,
maybe
and
maybe
it all comes with knowing students really well.
so you would feel that the answer isn't him saying it. Like sometimes he uses like very, expressions that he wouldn't normally use in his daily conversation. So you could tell, right? Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Um,
Again, it's about knowing your students.
yeah, so it's really good because you said that you use a special program uh, at school and you let the students use it as well, right? So like
Yes.
so.
Yeah, so for different things. So it could be that we want them to make a guideline, for example, of how they could improve some writing. Or sometimes what we've asked them to do is they've got some writing in their books and they've taken a picture of their work and uploaded that to AI and asked for pointers or for feedback.
Mhm.
So that gives them their child very personalized feedback on their work with, improvements they could make with language without giving them the answers. And if you set that AI up in the right way, you encourage the child to ask for support rather than just the answer.
Yeah, definitely. Okay. It's been really great to speak to you, and I hope we covered everything, like what for now, like what AI can do for us, especially when it comes to learning and education and stuff, because that's really important nowadays, and we see the rise in it, so it's really great. So do you think that one day that we're not gonna need like a real teacher?
Yeah, definitely. So that's a question that keeps coming up. Do we need it? Especially with some of the self-testing schools that have come out recently, or you've got complete AI schools, but that AI teacher or tutor
Mm,
on the other side is not going to know when a child is upset.
mm.
They're not going to have that human connection that a teacher has. So I don't ever think we're going to be out of a job, because I feel that the value that you bring, it's only AI can only be good as the prompt that you put in. So if I don't know my class and I don't know my children, I'm not going to be
Yes.
able to personalize the AI to make it suit the children. So it still needs that teacher and it still needs that human connection
Yeah.
to get to know your children and support them in the right way.
Yeah, I think you can never like get rid of the human, interaction, like you said. So it's definitely humans, they need to like exist, definitely.
Absolutely. Yeah, we're definitely needed as teachers, and anybody who works in education. I feel that it's not something to be scared of.
Yeah.
With AI, it's definitely something to use, to appreciate, and to get the most out of it for your students and yourself to
It
make their
can be
life easier.
used as a guide, but not the whole thing, like. Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Okay, it was pleasure speaking to you, and I hope that the audience got some benefits, or like maybe it widened their thinking, or brought some questions for them to search or to ask. So thank you
Absolutely. I
so
hope I
much for being here with us, and
Thank you
thanks.
so much. Thank you so much for inviting me and valuing my opinion. And yeah, I hope it's given your listeners some food for thought and encourages them to use AI in the right way.
Yeah, definitely in the right way. Okay, thanks.
Thank
uh
you so much.
Thank you.